Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sidney Salakuphathwa. I'm glad to be with you again this weekend. I'm looking forward to being with you for all days to come. Today I'm reading a book by James Allen entitled As A Man Thinketh. As a Man Thinks. And then the chapter that I'm reading is entitled Thought and Character. But let me just read a little bit of the foreword. This little volume, the result of meditation and experience, is not intended as an exhaustive treatise on the much written upon subject of the power of thought. It is suggestive rather than explanatory, its object being to stimulate men and women to discovery and perception of the truth that they themselves are makers of themselves, by virtue of the thoughts which they choose and encourage, that man is the master weaver, both of the inner garment of character and the outer garment of circumstance, and that as they may have hitherto woven in ignorance and pain, they may now weave in enlightenment and happiness. James Allen. Contents. The first chapter, entitled Thought and Character. The aphorism, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he, not only embraces the whole of a man's being, but it is so comprehensive as to reach out to every condition and circumstance of his life. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. As a plant springs from, and could not be without, the seed, so every act of a man springs from the hidden seeds of thought, and could not have appeared without them. This applies equally to those acts called spontaneous and unpremeditated. As to those which are deliberately executed, act is the blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus does a man garner in the sweet and bitter fruitage of his own husbandry. The thought in the mind has made us what we are. By thought was wrought and built. If a man's mind hath evil thoughts, pain comes on him, as comes the wheel the ox behind. If one endure in purity of thought, joy follows him as his own shadow, sure. Is it getting interesting to you? Do you like poem? Do you like poetry? If you like poetry, just click like below and comment, please, below as I'm going on. Please subscribe to my channel, Sidney Salakuphathwa TV. The success channel. I'm going to bring more of the things that make you to be successful in your department, in the things that you are very passionate about. Man is a growth by law and not a creation by artifice, and cause and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. A noble and godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking, the effect of long-cherished association with godlike thoughts, and in an ignoble and bestial character by the same process is the result of the continued harboring of groveling thoughts. If they say bestial, they mean beast-like, something that is not much noble, that is not much honored, is ignoble. Man is made of and made by himself. In the armory of thought, he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. By the right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. By the abuse and wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of the beast. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and man is their maker and master. Of all the beautiful truths pertaining to the soul, which have been restored and brought to light in this age, none is more gladdening or truthful of divine promise and confidence than this, that man is the master of thought, the molder of character, and the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As being of power, intelligence, and love, and the Lord of his own thoughts, man holds the key to every situation and contains within himself that transforming and regenerative agency by which he may make himself what he wills. Man is always the master, even in his weaker and most abandoned state, but in his weakness and degradation, he is the foolish master who misgoverns his household. When he begins to reflect upon his condition and to search diligently for the law upon which his being is established, he then becomes the wise master, directing his energies with intelligence and fashioning his thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and man can only thus become by discovery within himself the laws of thought, which discovery is totally a matter of application, self-analysis, and experience. I'm going to read the last paragraph if time is still on my side. And I would love to really get your engagement in this book. It's a very interesting book. I feel in my spirit as I'm reading it. Only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man can find every truth connected with his being, if he will dig deep into the mind of his soul, and that he is the maker of his character, the molder of his life, and the builder of his destiny. He may unerringly prove, if he will watch, control, and alter his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, and upon his life, and circumstances linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing his every experience, even to the most trivial, everyday occurrence, as a means of obtaining that knowledge of himself, which is understanding, wisdom, power. In this direction, as in no other, is the law absolute, that he that seeketh finds, and to him that knocks it shall be opened. For only by patience, practice, and ceaseless importunity can a man enter the door of the temple of knowledge. The second chapter, effect of thought on circumstances. Man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and it will bring forth. If no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein, and will continue to produce their kind. Just as a gardener cultivates his plot, keeping it free from weeds, and growing the flowers and fruits with he requires, so may a man tend the garden of his mind, weeding out all the wrong, useless, and impure thoughts, and cultivating toward perfection the flowers and fruits of right, useful, and pure thoughts. By pursuing this process, a man sooner or later discovers that he is the master gardener of his soul, the director of his life. He also reveals within himself the laws of thought, and understands with ever-increasing accuracy how the thought forces and mind elements operate in the shaping of his character, circumstances, and destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm presenting to you As A Man Thinketh by James Allen. Please comment below. This book is inspiring. I feel it in my soul. I hope it does the same to you. Hope to see you next time. Just subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye. I love you.